right, Mijo, get in here.
What the fuck do you want?
Huggie, come on, get in.
All right, I'm here.
All right, check it out.
Shh. This stays in this room, it doesn't leave these doors. Close that shit and let's get to the report. There's nothing that we don't ignore. Yep. Refresh the page to get the contrast. Check this out on the road or in a bubble bath. Take your brain down a weird path. This stays in this room podcast.
What's up?
Huh?
I said, what's up?
Oh, what's up, man?
So I don't want to beat around the bush, really. We had some shit happen today in California. And honestly, you know, other than, hold on, which one are you? I want to turn because I have 3 down. Say something.
Guest. I'm guest Mike.
Yeah, I got you. You're good. I don't want to beat around the bush. It's 12 people died, including the gunman. For those of you who don't know, there was another shooting.
Yeah.
It was in a bar in California. What was the town? Clifton?
No, it was something Woods.
Something Woods. Cedarwood. I don't know. Look it up real quick.
Yeah, my laptop just shut down on me.
Oh,
for
damn.
No reason.
But yeah, there was another shooting. It was in a bar.
Or Thousand Oaks.
Thousand Oaks. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And dude, this sucks. And I hate, it's like, I almost don't even want to talk about it because it's like we're getting desensitized because here's what happens. You have a shooting. Everybody first sends their thoughts and their prayers.
Yeah.
And then we debate on Facebook. Nothing happens. And then it happens again.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah. Exactly.
And it's like, what do we say? Do we say the same shit that happened last time? And do
I
we
don't
do
know,
the same
dude.
shit that
I'm
happened last time?
flabbergasted. As soon as I woke up this morning, I saw it because it happened late last night. Obviously, it's a bar.
Yeah. Yeah, we both woke up hella early. And first thing when I pulled open social media, that's what I saw. And
yeah.
What?
Well, he's like, one of the things is he's a former Marine. So, like, he's trained, for one, which is just another layer of it. I guess like an onion is just like, he's a trained and he maybe has PTSD, which the VA needs to.
I haven't seen any details on that.
He's a former Marine. I know that. And, like, if he's not getting counseling because the VA is backed up, like, those are just more issues that we have.
Well, we don't know. Just because he was used to be a Marine doesn't mean that he...
Even if you go through boot camp, you're going to get some type of PTSD. Like, have you seen those boot camp videos? Like,
well, I mean, I've never been and you've never been, so
but I've seen the videos, and I've known people who've been in the military, and I'm assuming you have too. Like, they're never the same. Like, I knew a buddy of my brother's former coworker. He went to Marine boot camp, and he was like the nicest, sweetest, like talkative guy. Was in Hell Week, snapped his femur, and they kicked him out. Couldn't go back to Marines. Now he can't ever be in the military because he didn't make it through. And now he has a medical history, and he can't go through like basic boot camp again. So now he's demoralized because he didn't get into what he wanted to do. And then he was just treated. He was conditioned, I wouldn't say treated poorly, but he's conditioned to be a Marine. And he just wasn't the same person ever again. Lost contact with him. He was my brother's friend. But
yeah, on Twitter,
he never made it to war, and he was not like the same person.
Yeah, I'm not questioning that anything that has to do with being in the military or a veteran. I'm sure that I mean that it is traumatic on some level, but I'm just saying I don't know.
Yeah.
I've never been. Gun control now is trending on Twitter, and that'll be trending on Twitter for
6 months.
For about a week, maybe
if that.
And then shit will people will start arguing.
And in 6 months, it's gonna happen again.
Yeah, 6 months, it's gonna happen again. It's always close to the same number of people though, right? That are killed around ballpark.
What do you mean?
On these shootings.
Yeah, in the mid-teens before something happens.
What's gonna be the breaking point, I guess?
You would have thought it was Sandy Hook because that was kindergartners. 13 kindergartners. You
Dude.
thought, and that was what, 7 years ago, maybe? I don't quite remember. But you would think it was kindergartners. I know, and it's all terrible. Like, there's 12 people who aren't alive now. But I was watching this video this morning and there was a guy.
While you were what?
While I was doing my show here this morning.
I think you were gonna say pooping.
No. I was in here at the studio.
Go ahead.
And there was a guy who was being interviewed, and he was crying, and he said, "I apologize for not doing more. It should have been me, not them, because they're just kids." He's like, "I'm 56.
Are you talking about Sandy Hook?
No. This current one. This current one. He's like, "It should have been me, but my first thought was I was in there with my, son who was like 20 something. Obviously, they're in the bar." He's like, "And my first thought was to like save my son."
Yeah, and you never know.
And it's like, it's just tragic that yes, there's 12 people who aren't alive, but there's people who are going to live, who've lived through it, and like thought they could have done something more, and like that's fucked. Like that, they're fucked in the head too now.
Yeah,
like
the whole
you
thing
shouldn't
is
have
traumatic.
to question like saving my son versus saving other people. Like I'm at a bar enjoying a beer with my son, and my thought was to save my son. But now I have the guilt of not saving.
Well, you never know until you're. It's like one of those things.
Exactly.
It's like, I would have done this. It's like until you're in that situation, you have no idea.
But it's so traumatic for the people who have lived too. Like that's my point. It's like, yeah, there's 12 people who aren't alive, but
you're saying that's who everybody's focused on.
And they should. And there's 12 people who aren't going to school today. There was an officer who was about to retire. He's 29-year veteran of CHP, I believe, or Ventura County Sheriff. Who's not going home to his wife.
Was he just in the bar, or was he like
No, he responded. He responded.
And the guy shot the cop?
Mm-hmm.
Damn, so that had, if you think about that, the cops wear bulletproof vests. So that had to have been like a headshot or something.
Or leg and then head or neck. Yeah.
I don't like it.
Yeah, so.
What's going to happen? Nothing, dude. Nothing is gonna happen.
No.
This. You know what's messed up? This is going to be a reoccurring topic for the rest of our lives. For the rest of our lives, this will be a recurring topic. It'll be something that continuously happens.
And I don't know much about politics, but this is one of the reasons why it was important to vote so we could take over the House, which we did. Or not we, but Democrats who are anti-gun, quote unquote, paraphrasing, but that's why it was important to vote so people could have people whose interests aren't aligned with the NRA are not or are in those positions to stop things like this. Sorry,
you're working it out.
Yeah. This is one of the reasons why it was an important vote. So we could pass gun legislation, and people chose not to go vote. People forgot to not vote. They were all about the clout and saying they were on Twitter and like,
that's one thing that
vote for Beto, vote for Andrew Gillum, vote for whoever was in your state. Those were the two big ones. But that's why it was important.
The thing is,
because now we only control one portion of the legislative branch, which is the House, but you need both the House and the Senate to pass a bill that goes to the president. And that's why it's even more important in the next election to go vote. So things like this can stop. So
it's sad, man.
It's sad, dude.
And yeah, you're absolutely right about the whole voting thing. And you know what? You know what's kind of...
And you can't complain if you didn't vote.
Yeah, you know it's kind of... I want to use the word funny, but it's not funny. It's just, it's sad. Like, there are people I know, like even in my family, like I'm not going to out anybody. But you don't vote just because.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand that. Never been registered to vote. These aren't kids. Like these aren't people who are just like, oh yeah, I was not 18 last time. Or, these are like grown ass adults. Never voted in their life.
I think there's also like a misconception that like there's an electoral college for the presidential like race. So, my vote doesn't count because at the end of the day, the electoral college, and it's not the popular vote. But when it's midterms or it's not whenever it's midterms, your vote counts. Every vote. There's no electoral college. It is popular vote for everything else but the president.
And you're not even voting. You are voting on people, but that's not all you're voting on. You're voting on measures.
Measures,
on our Oregon
bonds.
ballot, we just voted. One of the measures was to tax groceries.
Yeah.
Like, that's something that affects your day-to-day life.
And
you get to be like, yeah, I want to do that. Or no, I don't want to do that.
Yes. Michigan just passed legalization of marijuana. California just passed.
Wait, Michigan just did what?
Michigan, yeah.
Hold on.
Now we're taking a little turn. But also, I just read that California voted to get rid of daylight savings time. So California and Arizona are the only 2 states, and Hawaii, I think, that don't do daylight savings time.
Whoa.
So California is the same time every year now.
Why are we not all? We've
I don't know.
We've had this conversation
Yeah,
about
we
daylight
have.
savings time.
It's all because of farming, and it's all because of farming and farmers.
Yeah, maybe back in the fucking whenever. Sorry, language. My trying to make this a PG rated show. My niece Mia, every time that we cuss on here,
she calls you out.
She
man.
calls me. She FaceTimes me, and she's like disappointed.
Have I cussed yet? I don't think I've cussed yet.
Yeah, you said the F word a few times. So we're trying to clean this show up.
I'm sorry.
This isn't college radio. Okay?
Yeah.
It's a family-friendly show. But yeah, go vote. Don't be like.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not gonna tell you to do anything else anymore. And during like the election and everything, like we're doing our whole voting thing and wearing our stickers and stuff. I see people that are posting stuff like kind of like shaming people for like posting like their voted stuff. It's like, oh, like, can someone like remind me where to go vote? It's like, I guarantee you didn't go vote. Did you vote?
Yeah.
And it's like making fun of the stickers, whatever.
Speaking of this election, again, I'm not too in depth with politics. That's one thing I'm working on in my personal life is educating myself more and more and more. But this was a lot of firsts happened in this midterms.
A lot of women.
Over 100 women were elected to the House. The first Muslim woman in Congress. Oh, there was two Muslims. First Native American woman in Congress. First black woman to win in Congress in Connecticut. First lesbian mother. Youngest in Alexandria Ocasio, which was another huge person that like was gonna win. She's from the Bronx. First black woman in Massachusetts. First black attorney general of New York. First Native American, another one, and she's also an MMA fighter and a lesbian in Kansas.
Oh shit!
Yeah, so lesbian Native American MMA fighter in Kansas. So I wish I had their names pulled up.
I'm with it.
Yeah, it was a pretty gangster ass midterms. I'll say.
But Texas.
What
the fart, man? Cruz?
50,000. All that was left, and apparently ballots are still coming in. Even though like Beto like conceded his victory, apparently there's still ballots being found, and they might get sent back to recount in Texas and in Florida and in Georgia.
Dude, Texas would be huge.
Yeah.
Hold on, I just want to. I'm not shaming anyone or anything, but if you are a Texas listener, we have a lot of people listening in Texas.
Oh, we do.
Yeah, we do.
Texas.
I'm genuinely interested. I'm not going to shame you or anything, but if you voted for Ted Cruz, write us and tell us why. Because it's one of these things where it's like I'm not being a smartass. Like I really like want to understand, and like I get it. There's a lot of like white Christian evangelical like that's a lot of people in Texas fit that demographic.
Yeah.
So like I understand that, but I don't know. It's just mind-boggling.
It is.
So yeah, write us if you voted for Ted Cruz. If you live in Texas, write us and let us know.
I saw this. The Texas race. White men 71% voted for Ted Cruz. White women 59%. It's like a running joke, not a joke. It's a running theme in elections that like black women always like are voting the correct way, and 95% of black women voted for Beto.
95%.
95% of all black women voted for Beto. And like historically, like when polls come out, black women are always just like voting progressively.
Yeah. Well, think about it, Mijo.
Black men, 84% voted for Beto.
Nice.
40% of Latino men voted for Ted Cruz.
Well, how many?
40%. 34% of Latinas voted for Ted Cruz. Like, he's a Latino, but he's against Latinos. Yeah. Also, I read that in Florida, they passed an amendment restoring voting rights to felons in Florida, which I read, I could be wrong, but restored voting rights to 1.9 million people in Florida.
All felons? Or like non-violent?
I think it's non-violent felons.
It has to be.
Yeah. 1.9 million people. That's a lot, man.
No, I'm down with that because if you think about it, how many people have felonies over like drug charges?
Yeah.
And
exactly.
Stupid thing. Well, I mean,
yeah.
What I'm saying lightly, but that's dope.
Yeah. So it was an interesting election for sure. Small stories that you heard around the country, and
yeah,
Colorado elected their first openly gay. I think he's the first openly gay governor in all of America.
First openly gay governor in Colorado?
In Colorado, and it's like there's other people who are, obviously the woman in Texas is a lesbian, but she's not a governor. He's the first openly gay person who runs a state.
And isn't it weird that we talk about these things? Isn't it weird that it matters?
Mm-hmm.
That because of who you're attracted to?
Yeah.
That's mind-boggling too. If you're
Which is funny because I read a meme that Colorado is the state where the baker refused to buy or make a cake for a gay couple, and now that person who lives in the state who refused to make a cake for a gay couple has a gay governor.
Congratulations.
Like,
you played yourself.
You played yourself, bro.
Wow.
So, man, it was interesting midterms. I voted on Monday afternoon, so I got my ballot in.
I like doing it on the day of.
It makes it feel authentic.
It feels like a thing.
Because it's like, here in the state of Oregon, you can't. I don't think there's very many polling places. Like, it's a mail-in state.
It's a mail-in state, which is dope.
Mm-hmm.
But there are a lot of drop boxes throughout the area.
Yeah.
There was one down at Pioneer Square.
So, yeah. What else?
But hold on, real quick. It's 2018. We have an app for everything.
But not polling.
I can get on an app right now and order from any restaurant in the city, and they'll bring it to me.
Yeah.
And then I have an app that can take me home because I'm in a food coma. And then I have an app that will bring me booze. There's an app for everything, but we can't vote from. There's no voting app.
The federal government, man. They don't want to make it easier for people to vote.
My mind wanders. I don't know if I can talk about this anymore. We did if you follow us on our Instagram, TSITRPDX, we're going to start doing this before every episode. So we record on Thursdays, and we're going to start asking you what you want us to talk about.
Something small?
Huh?
Like, whether it's big or small?
Big or small.
Yeah.
It's just going to be, what should today's topics be? And so we asked that today, and the first response was threesomes. for or against?
We've talked about this before too.
I feel like we
but that
have.
was like episode 5 or something like that. That was early.
So Mijo. Well, let me shout out. That was from Carlos.
Carlitos.
He's a friend and former former person on the show?
Yeah,
former
he's been
guest,
on twice.
Former guest on the show. Yeah, he says threesomes, for or against.
I'm against. I'm not.
So you're telling me, hold on just a second. You're telling me today, if you were offered to have a threesome with 2 women, you would decline?
Yeah. Why do you get to control the buttons, bro? You can't do that to me.
Okay, no, before I give you that sound, I'll give you a chance to explain yourself. What's the reasoning? You too much woman?
Yeah, I'm just like, that's not really my style. I mean, it's always like, every like young boy's like fantasy, be like, oh, J-Lo and Beyonce.
Just any 2 women.
Yeah, but
okay, say
it's just not my.
If you could pick who the 2 women were, would you do it?
If I were to have a threesome with 2 celebrities, it would probably be like J-Lo and probably like Rihanna.
Interesting. I don't hate those pigs.
You tell me one person who would turn that down.
I don't know. You apparently.
I said if I.
Why? Okay, so why? So just say randomly at a bar. Like, say we went to a bar tonight and 2 chicks were like, "Hey, yo, we are wanting to get crazy and we want to have a threesome with you." You would turn that down? Why? Tell me why. You said you would. I'm asking genuinely. Why would you turn that down?
I don't know. I guess it's one of those things where I'm not going to go search for a threesome, but if it were presented to me, I'd probably do it then. Let me rephrase my...
There you go.
Yeah. Like, I'm not going to be like with my future girl.
And being like, hey, let's go find a threesome.
Yeah. But she's like, yo, like we all go out and she like finds a girl and was like, hey, she's coming home with us. I'd be like...
You be down?
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, hey, you got to be careful because that could be a setup
exactly.
to see how you respond.
Exactly.
I don't know, but
yeah,
if that's the kind of if you're gonna go through all that and plan a setup like that, just break up with me.
Yeah,
because I'm gonna bite on that every time.
I'm assuming you're for it.
I don't see why not, man.
Yeah.
We're here one time and sex is cool. It's taboo to talk about for some weird reason.
Yeah,
but yeah, sex is dope, and it's like. Think about it like this. Oreos. Dope. A regular Oreo. Freaking awesome. A double stuffed Oreo. Even better. Double bubble. There's a reason it's not just called bubble.
Oh, you are from
Double
Oklahoma.
bubble.
That's your favorite candy, huh?
That weirdly is. I do like double bubble.
I hate
double bubble.
Dude, flavor lasts for 2 seconds. It's done.
But yeah, no, I don't hate threesomes. I kind of like
have
you
ever
said.
You don't have you?
This is a family show, Mijo. We're talking.
Yeah, okay.
So yeah, no.
What's the next question?
Next, this isn't really a question. This is a top. Well, I guess it is a question. This is from Bobby. Damn it, hold on. If you could have your own personal Mount Rushmore, who would be on it? It can be fictional, non-fictional, alive or dead. It's very open-ended, so
let's constrain it and
dissect it a little bit.
Let's just do music.
Music?
And it
Mount
can't be
Rushmore?
like, yeah, musical Mount Rushmore.
Okay.
And it can't be like the band. It has to be like one
person
from the band.
Okay, so musical Mount Rushmore. You go first, because I'm going to take a minute.
I would say...
Wait, how many people are on Mount Rushmore? 4 or 5?
4.
That's not a dumb question. It could 4 and 5, those numbers are tricky. 3 and 4, not as tricky. You can be like, that's clearly 3 or that's clearly 4.
That's 4.
4 and 5 get murky.
Yeah.
Thank you. Do they not? 4 and 5 get... Like, if I just, like, threw up 4 pennies or threw out 5 pennies, be like, how many was that? You'd be able to tell.
As of right now, just anybody who wants a history lesson, the people on Mount Rushmore right now are George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Teddy Roosevelt, and Abraham Lincoln.
Just kidding.
Jesus.
I actually heard that Abraham Lincoln wasn't like as dope as everyone thought he was, but that's it for a different time.
I think out of all of them, I think Teddy Roosevelt's my favorite president. Out of all of them. I mean, Thomas Jefferson was a rapist and a slave owner, and so was George Washington.
Weren't they all kind of slave owners at that?
Teddy wasn't.
Teddy wasn't?
He was after Lincoln. He was in like the 19 teens.
Yeah, no. Yeah, Teddy Roosevelt wasn't. Yeah.
Teddy Roosevelt was in the teens. I think he was like 19, 14 or something like that.
Interesting.
And he got shot and survived.
Dope.
Unlike Lincoln. Sorry, bruh.
Damn. I don't even know what button to hit for that.
Damn! My musical Mount Rushmore.
Musical Mount Rushmore. You got 4 to pick. Who are they?
Dead or alive, I would probably go with Tupac,
Okay.
John Mayer,
Okay.
probably like, I was about to say, damn.
No, it's hard.
It is hard. I'd probably go with, because I grew up in choir, like Beethoven.
Beethoven.
Beethoven?
Beethoven. Okay.
Beethoven.
You got one more.
Oh.
It's very eclectic Mount Rushmore you got going on there.
Yeah. Just like the actual Mount Rushmore. Trying to think like who I listen to on the daily. Damn, this is hard. No. Oh man. Oh, someone who like current that I'm like J. Cole.
That's your final answer?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Tupac.
Like those are 4 artists that I listen to almost every day.
You listen to Beethoven almost every day?
Mm-hmm.
You listen to John Mayer almost every day?
A song, not like full albums or something, but I usually like put on a song.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Trying to think.
Don't judge me, monkey.
I'm not.
Is that from Grandma's Boy? Don't judge me, monkey.
Touch me, monkey. Sorry, my eye is bugging me.
About to get
today.
LASIK, son.
Dude, I hope I get LASIK. That would be so clutch.
All right.
Mount Rushmore Music Edition. I'm going with Trey Anastasio from Fish. I'm going with Dwayne Allman.
Good call.
Willie Nelson. Number 4.
Jerry?
I want to put Jerry on there. I really do.
What about Bobby?
But I'm just thinking about all my options. The first 3 were shoe-ins.
Who's that one dude that you listen to his beats a lot or something like that? Crazy guy? Has a crazy album art,
K Tronada?
I guess. Has like dragons or tigers or something like that. I don't know.
I think you're talking about K Tronada. Would K Tronada be on my Mount Rushmore? No. I gotta put, just because I gotta put Jerry on there.
Jerry?
Yeah. I feel like those were my biggest. Trey, Willie, Dwayne, and Jerry. Sure.
What about that one other country guy? George something?
George Strait?
Yeah. George A.
When no, George Strait is amazing. But when it comes to the Mount Rushmore, it's got to be Willie.
Yeah. I guess when you think of like Mount Rushmore, like it's something that nothing was ever the same after. Right?
Is that the point of it? I don't know.
Well, I mean, like, if you think about like people we pick, like
because if it's that, then
because there wouldn't be no George without
there wouldn't be no George
Strait without there wouldn't be George Strait without Willie or Dwayne, like, right?
I don't know.
As far as like guitar playing, There wouldn't be
really
there wouldn't be no Sound Tribe. There wouldn't be other like jam bands without Fish because they've been going for decades.
Well, see, the thing is if you want to dissect it like that, Fish wasn't like the original jam band. That was like the Grateful Dead, the Allman Brothers.
There wouldn't be no Jerry without, or there wouldn't be Trey without Jerry.
I wouldn't say that.
You wouldn't?
Mm-mm.
You don't think they were influenced?
Trey, maybe. Fish is like a unicorn. They're in their own little thing. I don't know, man.
See, when I think of like Tupac, like there was nothing was ever heard the same after Beethoven. Like blew people's minds.
Yeah.
And then with Tupac, like hip hop was insane.
Mm-hmm.
He was like the first like popularized like I don't even want to say I was about to make a comparison, but he was like the loudmouth. Like he came at people. And then with like John Mayer, like the resurgence of like soul and blues, like people wanted to be with him. Like Kanye called him to be on track. He produced songs with Travis Scott. Like everybody wants to be with John Mayer.
Anytime you're talking about, even look with Dead and Company. He's playing with him. So John Mayer's obviously a shredder. Dude, can we just take a John Mayer appreciation moment?
Dude, John Mayer's the GOAT, dude. John Mayer's dope.
He's beautiful.
Yeah.
I could comfortably say that. He's a beautiful man.
He is. Strange, but beautiful.
He's an absolute animal on guitar. And he's so like well-versed. He's just, let's give it up for John Mayer.
And J. Cole's J.
You gotta
Cole.
be careful when you're talking about music because it's all subjective.
Yeah, it's my opinion. If you don't like it,
whoa.
Screw you.
Dude, there's something wrong with my eye.
Well, stop touching it.
You sound like my dad. I remember being little, being like, oh, like, it hurt. My elbow hurts when I do this, or like, this hurts when I do this. He'd be like, well, don't do that.
Yeah.
Easy fix.
Can you not see out of it?
No, I can see. It's blurry. It just itches.
Oh.
It feels like there's a cat in here.
Well, maybe.
All right. You have anything else to add, Mijo? Those were the only questions. But yeah, if you want to participate in our next episode, hit us up on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all TSITRPDX, or just Google This Stays in This Room podcast.
Yeah, you can DM us, put a post on our wall. If you want to email us, it is TSITRpodcast@gmail.com.
That's right.
And my personal's at Magic Mijo. If you want to just message me.
If you want to just like message me. Boy, get him a glass of water. Damn.
It's getting hot in here. Gotta drink my
water. My personals are It's Claybird.
Changed it.
I did change it. I felt like it was a good career move to not pigeonhole myself into one area.
City, yeah.
I feel like we should probably change the podcast handles too.
Probably.
The PDX.
Yeah, we should.
So be on the lookout for that. We might be changing our handles. We have to vote on it. That's how you tie. That's how you tie the podcast.
I didn't even get
We're professionals.
Yeah.
I'm a professional. Sorry.
Yeah.
That's how you tie a podcast together right there. Bring it all back around. That's it.
Yeah. Thanksgiving's coming up.
It is.
Yeah.
We'll do a podcast before Thanksgiving.
We will.
Oh, dude. Everybody's leaving for Thanksgiving, but my sister,
Yeah, that's what I want to bring up.
Monica, surprised me, and she's like, hey, I'm coming to Portland. She's bringing her kids.
Oh, and you never met them.
Dude, I've never...
You gotta be Uncle Clay.
We've never met, yeah. So it's my half-sister. We didn't grow up together. We have like kind of an interesting story. But yeah, she's coming up. We're going to spend our first...
Holiday?
First holiday together.
Dope.
Yeah, I'm not crying. My eyes. All right.
Well, have a great weekend. Video will be up shortly. If you're listening, our YouTube is TSITR podcast.
Yeah, we're gonna have to fix this. Yeah,
Yeah.
we do have a YouTube channel. We film. If you're just listening, we do film every podcast, and we put it up on our YouTube. So if you want to watch us talk instead of just listen to us talk,
Want some visuals? You're at the gym, want to watch something while you're running?
oh, smart! I didn't think about that.
Yeah, because I watch podcasts when I'm running.
Yeah.
All right, have a great weekend.
Bye.
Bye.